Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler. 1972 to 1975.
Game 275, Red Sox at Dodgers. Welcome back, baseball fans. 1972-75 carryover league. We've got another interleague battle. And it's kind of interesting. If you watch the last interleague battle, not only was it have a similar level of curiosity, it also has some sort of thematic color templates involved, and that was the Cincinnati Reds and the Kansas City Royals. So you had the red logo, and then you had the royal blue. And now we got today the Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers, and it's almost the same kind of thing. You've got the Red Sox and the blue Dodgers going across leagues. And even more curious, like we explained in the last video, the Royals and Reds were disappointing a year ago, which is why they were playing in interleague. And the Red Sox and Dodgers, same thing. They were disappointing a year ago. But what has happened in the off-season to change fortunes? Well, drastically different scenarios. Goofus and Gallant. And it's the Red Sox who are the gallant ones. They, with the first pick in the draft this year, their first pick, they took Fred Lynn. In the second round, they took Cecil Cooper, and that seemed to make a big difference to this team from a last-place team a year ago. I'm just going to quickly look at standings before we play a game two. And here we are with the Red Sox, seemingly running away, if you want to call it that, with a very bad American League East suddenly this year. Don't know exactly what's been going on, other than just immediate bad hitting by the Orioles, bad pitching somehow by the Yankees. And on the other side of the spectrum, we can't be leaving out the Dodgers, who were bad a year ago. And they're bad again. This is a real head-scratcher, folks. Actually, the Yankees and Dodgers, two of the most storied franchises in Major League Baseball history, are really off to dismal starts. Dodgers can't figure this one out. Don Sutton, their ace, is 0-5 with an ERA of 2.08. They just aren't scoring any runs for him, which takes us to game one of a best-of-3, which opened up in Fenway Park. And there was an interesting moment in this game where we had an injury. Yeah, Joe Ferguson started the game in right field, but he got injured in the first inning. Buckner was on the bench against the lefty Bill Lee, so he went to the outfield, which meant probably for the first time that I can recall in a Strat-O-Matic game, all the outfielders were ones. Buckner was a 1. E8. You had Willie Davis, a 1E6, and Bill Russell in the outfield. You could still play there, 1E6. Brick Miller for the Sox, 1E6. Fred Lynn, 1E8. Dwight Evans, a 1E5. So this game was a pitcher's treat. Bottom of the first. It is Dwight Evans hitting the homer off of the Sutton card. If you're going to beat Sutton, you're going to need a homer or 2 or 3, if you have any chance whatsoever. And so Evans gets it. And at that moment, I'm thinking to myself, are the Red Sox going to win this game 1-0? Because that's how it's kind of been for the Dodgers this year. We go all the way to the 8th inning with Bill Lee dueling Don Sutton. 8 innings, 6 hits for Bill Lee. It's a Mick Kelleher single off the Lee card. Ground ball moves him up. Bill Russell singles. But again, Boston's arms, park affected, I guess you could say. Rick Miller -2, Fred Lynn -3, Dwight Evans -3, eventually -5. He jams on the brakes at third base. Doesn't matter. Because after that, Steve Garvey rolls catcher's X. And it's all or nothing with Fisk. He's a 1/16 catcher. Weird. But a foul out ends the threat, or it doesn't prevent. It would prevent the run from scoring. You're not going to get a pass ball as frequently or a wild pitch, but you could get the error, and the Dodgers get the error, and that allows the one run to score to tie the thing, temporarily giving Don Sutton a break from another loss. But bottom of the ninth, Yastrzemski off the Sutton card against a lefty. For a lefty, it's not a homer chance. It's triple double. He gets the double. And then it's just baffling. Dwight Evans bunts. He gets it down. He's a B bunter. So he's at third. And then on Don Sutton's card, we did the math and identified that the sac fly comes up more frequently for right-handed batters than left-handed batters based on homer triple-double chances that are fly out the rest and actual fly ball Bs on the card. Did all that math, suggesting to pitch to Fred Lynn, and Fred Lynn rolls a fly ball B anyway. In the 5 column, one of the few on the left side of Sutton's card. Just a baffling way to lose a baseball game. If you're Don Sutton and the Dodgers, 2-1 Boston has been stepping in it, folks. They're stepping in it. I used to think stepping in it was a bad thing. It mean like that flaming bag of doo-doo on the porch. But stepping in it also means it's good luck and you're getting good fortune. And the Red Sox are getting plenty of it this year, folks. Good for them. They've had a rough go of it recently. And unfortunately, the home team is yet another victor in the interleague. And it's getting pretty kooky how often the home teams are winning these interleague battles versus the traditional divisional and cross-divisional battles where the good road teams will win fairly regularly. But I don't know about something about interleague. It just maybe you don't play that opponent frequently enough to know the correct lineups and so forth, so the home field advantage takes over. Perhaps that could be a theory. But we have a game 2 today of a best of 3 flying out to LA. And it's the pitching matchups do not help the Dodgers either, because Boston is now going to put their ace out there. Louis Tiant, 72, 15-6 with a 191 ERA in 179 innings. And the Dodgers are going to counter with their weakest starter, which means that they're going to win this game 10-0 probably. The Dodgers are going to send Claude Osteen. He's only a 20-game winner and the worst pitcher on their staff. 20-11 with a 264 ERA in 252 innings. Because Messersmith's a little bit better, even though he only won 14. And Tommy John's a little better, even though he won 16. And somehow the best pitcher in the entire league, the best pitcher, Don Sutton, only won 19 games with a sparkling 208 ERA. But enough of that. Louis Tiant, Claude Osteen from Chavez Ravine in LA, Dodger Stadium. Dodgers desperately need to win a baseball game sooner or later this year. They get their 5th win to get to 5-11, which if you follow football is a disastrous season. Leading off for the Red Sox is Tommy Harper. 57 pops to first. Carl Yastrzemski K's. And Dwight Evans, 38, rolls to third. Bottom of 1. Willie Crawford, 6'10", third X. This is Ron Petrocelli at 2E17. Makes the play. Davey Lopes, 2'4", third. And Bill Buckner, 64, catcher's X. 1E16. Again, this is Fisk's weird defense. Okay. We got Fisk at the plate now. 66. Flies to left. Fred Lynn, 49. Triple 1 2. Base hit. Petrocelli, 110. Walks. 2 on, 1 out for Dwayne Josephson. Backup catcher for the Red Sox. 69 is a base hit into right field. Lynn could challenge the -1 arm of Crawford, and he will. And he scores on a 9. Petrocelli. No, he's slow this year, so he'll hold it second. I'm going to throw it anyway. First and second, 1 out for Rick Burleson. 57 pops out. And Doug Griffin, 1-2. Hit by the pitch that loads the bases for Tommy Harper. 56 is a sky to center field. Osteen gets out of the mess. 1-0 Sox. Steve Garvey, 112. Hit by the pitch. Willie Davis, 67 at K's. Ron Say, 1-8. Center. And with 2 outs, Bob Hansen, 211. Fielder's choice. Top of the 3rd. Yastrzemski, 34. Pitcher. Dwight Evans, 412. Pitcher. And Fisk, 2-4. Center field. Bottom of the 3rd. It's Yeager, 2-6. K's. Bill Russell, 511. Second X. Griffin's a 1-19. We got some sparkling defense on these two teams. Willie Crawford, 66. Right. That's going to keep this series low scoring anyway. I mean, who is bad defensively here? Tommy Harper's a 3E4. Normally Rick Miller would be in there a 1E6. Yaz is a 2 at first. Evans and Fisk and Lynn are all 1s. Petrocelli's a 2. Burleson's a 2 at second, a 3 at short in this year. Griffin's a 1. Crawford's a 2. Lopes is a 3-12. Buckner's a 1. Garvey's a 1. Davis a 1. Ronsay's a 2. Yeager's a 1 with a -3 arm catcher. And Bill Russell, when he's an outfielder, is a 1E6. Now, today he's a shortstop. He's a 4E42. So he is the worst defensive player at short. They have Mick Kelleher, a serviceable defensive replacement. But, yeah. Actually, the Las Vegas expansion team has 5 1s on their team. But, of course, the Red Sox and Dodgers can almost match that, but have a ton more options with offense and pitching. So, top of the 4th, 1-0 game, and it's Fred Lynn. 1-8 base hit. Petrocelli, 69, base hit to right field. Lynn will hold it second with nobody out. Dwayne Josephson, 35, single 1-6, and he gets it. They are loaded. There's nobody out. Oh, boy. Rock and hard place is where Claude Osteen currently is. He's going to, looking at the Burleson card, I don't see any ground ball Bs on there at all. So I'm going to play it back for a double play. 55. Oh, ground ball second C, of course. Of course, it's the Dodgers. All right, the run score, second and third. Now I'm going to bring the infield up for Doug Griffin, who's an A bunter. 1-7, single 1-8. He lines out on a 14. And with 2 outs, it's Tommy Harper. Blow this thing wide open. 59, sky's right. Well, give Claude some credit. He battled out of a couple jams, surrendering single runs. Probably not long for this game with this weak Dodger offense that's in a 2-year slump. Davey Lopes, 66, flies to left. Bill Buckner, 411, left X. And this is Harper, their only chance to get hit off an outfielder, and they get it, a double. So that's why Tommy Harper doesn't see a lot of playing time in this Red Sox lineup. For that reason. Your tie run, Steve Garvey, 64, short X. And Burleson's a 331, and that's an error. And now we're seeing the cracks. The weakest parts of the defenses are being exploited here. Runners in the corners, 1 out, 2-0 lead. They're going to play back for Willie Davis. 310 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, it's Ron Say. 410, center X. And here it is, Fred Lynn, a 1E8. Right? Yeah. 1E8. And he makes the grab. We'll go to the 5th. It's Yastrzemski. 310. Flies to right. Dwight Evans, 35. Single 1 of 3. And he gets it. We made a 1 of 3. We made a 1 of 6 in this game for the Sox. And here's Pudge Fisk. 3-6 and on the walk. Again, we're not long for Osteen. We have pretty decent bullpen. You got Fred Lynn. You have lefty-lefty, so we'll have to let this potentially be the last batter for Claude. Here's the pitch. 2-6, single 1 of 17. Gets it on the 16. They're loaded. And you got righty up. And that's it. I'm tired of Claude. And the magic trick is nifty. But the Dodgers just aren't that type of team that could sit around and wait and come back from a 3, 4, 5, 6 run deficit. At least not this year with this horrible offense that they've. These cards are good cards, don't get me wrong, but they just aren't doing a thing. Boston's actually put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 men on base already. And so they're going to go to the pen here. And they're going to go Barry Lersch. Nice guy here. Acquired in the offseason from the Phillies. 4-6 with a 3.03 ERA and 101 innings. A righty who gets, he gets a lot of guys out. Gives up extra base hits there. That 6-7 triple against lefties isn't pretty, but he comes in, Barry Lersch, in the 5th with the bases loaded and 1 out. 2-0 game. We'll look at Petrocelli's card. We would assume the Red Sox hit into a lot of double plays. And they're going to play back for that same premise previously. Playing back, 1 out, bases loaded. The pitch to Rico Petrocelli. 111 is a 6-4-3 double play. Lersch gets what the Dodgers needed. And it stays 2-zip. Boston may regret the meager run support for Luis Tiant. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right. Bottom of the 5th for the Dodgers. It'll be their designated hitter, Bob Hansen, free agent signee. 1-7, double 1-2. He gets a base hit. Now your tie run is Steve Yeager. 4-4 off the Tiant card. No homer. It's triple 1-3. Single the rest. It's single the rest. That's how great Tiant is. That's most likely a homer roll in most of his other seasons. At that part of the template. It is runners on the corners. Nobody out. Again, they're going to play this thing back. And hope they hit a ground ball to Doug Griffin. But it'll be Bill Russell. 67 off Tiant is a strikeout. Back up top to Willie Crawford. 2-7 for Crawford is a base hit in the right field. That'll bring 1 run in. Does Yeager want to go coast to coast? Not against Dwight Evans, no. So it'll be 2-1. First and second, 1 out. And Tiant's in a little bit of trouble here. D. Lopes. 2-8 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Bill Buckner. 56, second X. That's Doug Griffin. The 2019 second baseman makes the play. 2-1 game. Low scoring, tight affair. As predicted. Into the 6th we go. It'll be Dwayne Josephson. 58, flies left. Rick Burleson, 1-6, grounds the 3rd. And Doug Griffin. 3-10, bouncer to short. Barry Lersch. Barry big game Lersch. Nice work there. 5 straight outs. Bottom of the 6th. It's Steve Garvey leading off. 2-5. Let's take a look at Steve Garvey, your 1974 National League most valuable player. 312 average, 21 homers. The incredible defense. I'm assuming he got a gold glove if they made him MVP as well. You know, these type of numbers aren't going to get you MVP in 1971 when guys like Hank Aaron and Willie Stargell and Joe Torre and, you know, were doing insane stuff. But 21 homers and a 312 average does get you an MVP in 673 plate appearances. 2-5, double 1 to 10, and we have a double. Tie run at second for Willie Davis. 2-10, rolls to first. The infield's going to come up with the tie run at third against Ron Say. 2-8, and that's a base hit on a ground ball short A+ through the infield. We got a tie game. Would have been a tie regardless. If you played it back, he scores from third. You play it up, he shoots it through. So Ron Say's at first with 1 out, and it's Bob Hansen. 38's a K, and with 2 outs, it's Steve Yeager. 2-6 is a K. 2-2 affair here in Dodger Stadium. Barry Lurch, relief 3. He's done well. You know, I think you want to leave him in there a little longer, at least for one more inning. Chasing a victory. He's done well. Give him a chance to chase a win here. Top of the Boston lineup, it'll be Tommy Harper. 1-5, grounds to short. Carl Yastrzemski. 48, pops to short, and with 2 outs, Dwight Evans. 2-8 is a K, and the answer is Barry Lurch. 8 straight outs, and that has extinguished Boston's offense. Stretch time here at Dodger Stadium. We decided to go all the way back with Steely Dan, the traditional LA Dodger background tunes, and went to 72s, where it got going. Can't Buy a Thrill, featuring Do It Again, of course, Dirty Work. This one, of course, with 289 million airplays, reeling in the years. And yeah, Can't Buy a Thrill. And that's the Dodgers. They can't buy a win this year. And they're trying to get a comeback win today against the great Louis Tiant. Who, by the way, Louis Tiant's a starter 9. So bottom of the 7th, leading off, it'll be Bill Russell. 66, flies left. Willie Crawford, 48, walks. B. Steeler. You got the Fisk -3 arm. If you're Lopes, I'm thinking he's really had a rough year, which is why he's not leading off anymore. Might want to try a hit and run here. Do something. Yeah, I think I'll do a hit and run. Fielder's choice. That didn't work. But you still got an ace Steeler on the bases. Let's try a stolen base against the -3 arm and see what happens. Who knows, right? He's out. Stealing is what happens. So, yeah. Well, again, he's employed for on base and base stealing and so forth. So you just have to do it, even if it means you're out. 8th inning, 2-2 game. Barry Lurch. I'm looking at this. Fisk leads off, and you got Freddie Lynn. And both those guys are better against lefties. I think it's going to work out pretty damn good that we're going to go right back to a lefty that started the game. But this one's going to be a lot better. We're going to go Jim Brewer here in the 8th inning because the Dodgers season is getting a hair on their chinny chin chin. So Jim Brewer comes in with this incredible card. Has hardly pitched this year because, like I said, they've won only 4 games. So Brewer's just going to come in and do some long work starting in the 8th. He's a relief 2. We might let him go 3 if it goes extras. And Brewer will battle Carlton Fisk. 63, pitcher X. Brewer is an E18. Out on the X there. Now the lefty Lynn, and Brewer gives up homers to lefties. That's his only weakness. 48 is a walk to a lefty. Petrocelli, 57's a K. And Dwayne Josephson, 2-8 is a K. Bottom of the 8th for Tiant. It'll be Bill Buckner. 1-2, oh boy. First and an injury. Well, they lose an outfielder. They could go Crawford in left and put Joe Ferguson in right. They'll do that. For the injury. Oh boy. All right, Steve Garvey had the big double previous at-bat. He grounds a short. And Willie Davis. 2-10, 3 up, 3 down, back to the rollways. We go to the 9th. Brewer. We'll deal with the Rooster Burleson. 3-6. Let's take a look at a card. I haven't seen many today. Rick Burleson, 74. Had a 284 batting average. I understand 75. The Red Sox went to the World Series. Burleson's defense at short got better. His batting average got worse. But this card of 74, he's a 2 at second and 3 at short. And he has power versus right-handed pitchers, too. But against a lefty in this situation, 3-6 is your double to left field, lead off in the 9th. Now you got Doug Griffin. It's almost like a bunt's mandatory here against Brewer. The bunt, he's an A-bunter, and that will advance the runner to the 3rd. You got to bring it up, and the Dodgers are very precariously close to losing games by sac flies in the 9th. Back-to-back sacrifices after doubles in the 9th inning. This is just what happened in Game 1. It'll be Tommy Harper. Yep, fly ball Bs on rolls of 6-5 and 6-6 and 6-9 against lefties. They aren't there. So Boston, don't pinch hit a lefty. All right, Tommy Harper. Infield's up with a runner at 3rd and 1 out. The pitch to Tommy Harper. 54 is a pop to short, and against a lefty, it's fly ball B. Interesting. Had they pinched hit Cecil Cooper, which wouldn't have made any sense, lefty-lefty. But anyway, that would have scored the run. 2 outs now, and it's Yastrzemski. 43 just misses the homer, left X. And fortunately, we moved Crawford over there instead of Ferguson. So left X. Crawford is a 2E7 and left. And he makes the grab. Bottom of the 9th. Tiant's a starter 9. This is a weird game. It's just sort of like the first game. Starter 9 pitcher who can pitch 10 innings is Louis Tiant. He's serving in the Don Sutton role, the hard luck loser role at this point. Ronce. 46, single 1 of 16 off Tiant, gets it. You got a runner at first. And we have to take a look at this Bob Hansen fellow, though. You're wondering who this guy is. Well, in 74, he was a pinch hitter for the Brewers, hitting 295. I guess he could have been a DH, just 88 at-bats. Not a very long career. But he's a serviceable designated hitter. And in the National League, where there wasn't one. No double plays on his card. Good news for the Dodgers. He will swing away. 35, single 1-0-18, and he gets it. First and second, nobody out. And boy, do we really love to bunt here if we could. But Yeager's a C bunter. Oh boy. And then you got Russell. And then if we can just get 3 cracks at this and make sure Crawford bats in this inning. We'll let Yeager swing away. He's got a lot of strikeouts, which are better than double plays in this case. So Steve Yeager will swing away. First and second, nobody out. 111, fly ball B plus injury. We are setting up some weird defense here. So now Ferguson, who entered the game in left field, will have to go into catcher if this goes extras. I'm already going to stick... Who's the other outfielder I could get out there? Oh, yeah, Bill Russell. Yeah, Bill Russell will go in the outfield. And Kelleher will take over at short in Yeager's spot. And that brings us to Bill Russell with 1 out and 2 on. Here's the pitch to Bill Russell. 1-4 pops to short. And then, well, here we go. Willie Crawford, top of the lineup here. Let's take a look at his card. He has the own... one of the 2 RBIs in the game for the Dodgers. A really nice 295 average in 73 with 14 homers. And a chance to win the game and a walk-off right here and now with a nice single dot off of Tiant. Here's your pitch to Willie Crawford. 2-8 is a strikeout. Bonus baseball from Hill A, and the Dodgers, well, they're going to send Brewer out for a 3rd inning. May as well. Your season is hanging precariously awful right now. They'll be 4-12 or 4-11 if they lose this thing. Dwight Evans leads off in the top of the 10th. 68 lines the first. We have enough defensive players for the Dodgers. We lost, was it Buckner? Did we lose? Yeah, we lost Buckner and Yeager. We lost a left fielder and a catcher. So Ferguson's catching, Crawford's in left, and Bill Russell's in right. So we have enough defense. Just double checking there. Carlton Fisk, 2-7 is a K, and with 2 outs. Fred Lynn, 64, short X. This is the replacement shortstop, is actually better. It's a 3-16 Mick Kelleher, and he makes the play. And of course, yeah, 3 scoreless innings for Brewer. We're gonna punch the clock for him. Cross our fingers, we can walk it off of Tiant. Who's going back out there for the 10th? Louis Tiant. Yeah, you got righty now because Buckner's out of the game. Louis Tiant's going back out on the bottom of the 10th inning. Only my starter 9s are allowed to pitch into the 10th inning. Of course, later in this decade, early 80s, Billy Martin had his pitchers pitch 14 innings a few times, which is ridiculous, but it happened. Tiant's chasing a win. He's going out for the 10th. Hope his team can win in the 11th. It's Davey Lopes. He's chasing a Cy Young, for Pete's sakes. Davey Lopes, 3-6 is a K. And it's Joe Ferguson. Was on the bench, was in left field, now catching. 57 is a K. And Garvey, the MVP. Let's see what you can do, most valuable Dodger. 2-6. Single. Well, single. It's a single. It's, you know, it's not a homer, double, triple, whatever. But it's a single. Okay. Runner at first, 2 outs, Willie Davis. 56, second X, and this is Griffin, a 1-19. Really need an error here, and they can't get it. Innings over. I can stick a pin in Tiant. Went 10 innings. He can still get a win, though. Brewer's gone. We go to the 11th. We're in new territory, new pitchers. Let's see. Boston has righty, lefty, righty, lefty. I think I might just go Frank Lindsay here. But the problem is Cooper and Rick Miller will most likely pop into this game. If that happens, we'll just switch it over to Charlie Huff to finish it because we know Charlie Huff's got a rubber arm. So Frank Lindsay will come on in the 11th inning and face Rico Petrocelli leading off. Let me give you Frank Lindsay's stats. 2-2, 3.04 ERA, 77 innings for the Milwaukee Brewers. Dodgers got him in the offseason through free agency. Here's the pitch to Rico Petrocelli. 56, guys the center. Dwayne Josephson or a pinch hitter? I think you got to go. And you got to go pinch hitter. This game's going to take forever if I don't. It'll be Cooper. This is your shot here for a solo homer. Do you let this guy bat? Let's take a look at Cecil Cooper. You'll see why. 311 hitter, 14 home runs. Again, Dodgers, you got to play this like it's the end of the world here. So they're going to hook Lindsay after that batter. They just can't afford even a solo homer at this point of their season. And now they said, we got Charlie Huff, who's almost like, he's like a starting pitcher at this point. 75, 3-7, 295 ERA in 61 innings. We'll let Charlie Huff finish the game for the Dodgers in the 11th. So the confused Lindsay got his batter out, and then he's gone. And here comes Cecil Cooper. Now they're just going to replace, they'll probably bring in Rick Miller too, but Cecil Cooper comes in with 1 out. Here's the pitch. 4-10 off of Huff, and you found his power spot, but it's not too bad. It's double 1 to 15. It's a double. Not a lot you could do there. You have no more left-handed pitching in the bullpen, but at least Huff's better than Lindsay. Runner at second, 1 out, and it's Rick Burleson. 111 for Burleson, flies to right, and with 2 outs, it's Doug Griffin. 2-9! Oh my goodness, let's take a look at the Doug Griffin card of 1972. A 260 average, but what we like about him, of course, a 1 at second base. And a timely hit here. Double 1 to 11. It is a double, and that'll score Burleson. So the double play combo at the bottom of the lineup scratches out a run here. It's 3-2. Back up top to Tommy Harper. 2-8 is a strikeout that ends the inning, and of course, for Boston, because everything seems to work perfectly for them, they'll simply put Rick Miller in Tommy Harper's spot he just batted, and now they've got Gold Glove defense all over the place. And I've used every player on their bench except Dwayne Anderson. And Louis Tiant can still get his win watching from the dugout. It just seems like certain things kind of work out. And so Ted Abernathy will come on in the bottom of the 11th inning. He's Boston's closer. He's a great pitcher, very old, in his late 30s, maybe 40, but he was really effective for the Cubs and the Royals, free agent. 72, Kansas City Royal, 3-4 with a 1.71 ERA is Ted Abernathy. Nice pickup for the Red Sox after losing out Sparky Lyle, of course. Abernathy comes on in to face Ron Say in the bottom of the 9th, the bottom of the 11th. And here's the pitch. 4-4. Oh boy. Homer won the 9 off Abernathy, and it's gone! I was just about to say, Dodgers, please don't score just one run in this inning. Win it or lose it. It's exasperating playing you guys deep into extra innings. So win or lose the thing, well, you've tied it 3-3. It's Bob Hansen. 65, center. Mick Kelleher. They call him Mike Kelleher on this card, by the way. 5'10 catcher's card. This is Fisk still. 1/16. And another error. That's 2 errors in 2 games for Fisk. Bad timing. Runner at first, 1 out for Bill Russell. 2-8, fielder's choice. He's at first with 2 outs for Willie Crawford. 2-6 is a base hit in a center field, minus whatever arm, minus 3 arm. Russell, you don't want to make the final out at third base. It'll be Davey Lopes. Here's the pitch to Davey. 4-4 Davey Lopes. Off Abernathy's card, Homer 1-9, doesn't matter, it's a double, and they walk it off with a double. Saving me from another inning of this thing. Davey Lopes walks it off. It's the Fisk error, then a single, and then a double. Roll 4-4 off Abernathy twice in the inning. First time a homer, second time it didn't matter. Got the run in. And blown save with just 1 out, 2 outs recorded for Ted Abernathy in the bottom of the 11th inning. And the Dodgers win 4-3. We'll do the box score here and take this to the end. Well, I got to play a game 3. So actually, folks, we'll pause it here. I got to play a game 3 back in Boston, as once again the home team has won another interleague battle. So we'll take a pause here. We'll give you the full box of this game, and then the result of the rubber match game 3. So stay tuned. Well, baseball fans, here is the box score from the game 2 that you just saw from Hill A. The walk-off double by Lopes. Osteen 4 1/3, 7 hits, so that was a great decision to pull him, because the parade of relievers after him was fantastic. Only 3 hits over the next 6 1/3 innings. Charlie Huff actually gave up 2 hits that a run in 2/3 of an inning, gets the victory. He was on the mound when the Dodgers made their comeback off Abernathy. He saved game 1, but he blew the save in game 2, wasting the effort of Louis Tiant. 10 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 10 Ks. No decision. Well, he chased that win and would have gotten it with better closing. Dodgers win 4-3. Which sets up a rubber match back in Fenway Park in Boston. Interesting matchup between Andy Messersmith and the Dodgers versus Steve Blass, a pitcher Boston acquired from the Pirates in the offseason. The Pirates saw his the sands in the hourglass running out and decided to trade Blass, who only has 1 good year left, to get rid of him. And the Red Sox said, we'll take him. We'll take that one last great year, Steve Blass. However, it doesn't go his way, because in the 6th inning, You get a Crawford double, a Buckner single, and a Willie Davis 2-run homer. Willie Davis is in the middle of the lineup now because of his high OPS and slugging, which came out of nowhere in the years of 72 and 73. 3-1 game. The only weakness the Red Sox have is when you get into their long relief. Chris Short, the lefty, got knocked around in the later innings, thwarting any comeback attempts. The Dodgers finally get their offense going when the game's out of reach, putting in some garbage runs. So it all adds up to an 8-1 victory for the Dodgers. As a disinterested Boston Red Sox team, probably not particularly motivated, they got at least one win in this series to avoid a sweep. And this is a road win, if you want to call it, an interleague battle. But it's still a 2-1 split between the two leagues. What does this all mean when you add up the big picture? You probably see why it's not a big deal to the Red Sox. Let's go look at the stats. The Red Sox, they're still at the top of the East. And if you're wondering about the quantity of games here, that is correct. They've played 15. Baltimore's played 21. And the reason is they've been involved in sweeps. They were swept 3 straight by the Twins, and then they swept the Yankees 4 straight. So they played a lower number total of games than their other teams. So they've only lost 6 games thus far this year, which is fantastic news. On the other end of the spectrum, Dodgers, hey, they're tied with the Padres. Unfortunately, though, the Giants happen to be red hot in the National League West, and that does not bode well for the rest of this division. Someone has to slow the Giants down. Moreover, with the Dodgers winning this series, they increased their interleague dominance. National League is now +6. Last year, the American League had a huge advantage in interleague play. This year, the National League's starting to make a comeback, +6. So that's what we have today with the Dodgers. Break up. They won a baseball series, folks. Took them a while. They beat the Boston Red Sox in a fantasy World Series, you could call it. 2-1. Thanks for checking this out, folks. We'll see you next time.